Welcome friends to another Expanse video. Today we look at the many types of power armor in the series with a big focus on the Martian Armor. Let's get straight into it. The power armor in the Expanse is a military focused suit that enhances a soldier's capabilities in warfare. The best known and where we will start is the Goliath suits worn by the Martian Marines. Without a soldier in them, they stand 2.5 meters tall and weigh 400 kilograms. The Goliath plays the role of both spacesuit and protective armor. For example, you can walk through a nuclear bomb crater only minutes after it has gone off wearing the armor due to the level of radiation shielding. The exterior shielding is composed of titanium and ceramic composite and is usually painted with camouflage patterns to allow the Marines to get close to and engage the enemies. In terms of the damage they can take, they are resistant to small arms fire. The wearer is given extra strength by the armor through the hydraulic systems in it, and this also carries much of the weight of the suit, allowing faster movement for the soldier inside, so they can cover marathon-style hikes in surprising time, perhaps gaining ground on where the enemy thinks they will be. Inside the helmet, through the user's heads-up display, sensor packs relay what is picked up, letting them identify infrared targeting lasers used by enemies so they can be avoided, and to identify weapons used against them through suit camera feeds that are matched to an onboard database. The HUD is controlled through the blinks and eye movements of the wearer and can show information such as maps of the terrain and diagnostics of the suit. Let's take a few examples from the books. She zoomed in, setting the optics to a high contrast false colour that would make any movement stand out like neon. Soon enough, a shape moved, someone emboldened to poke their head up for a quick look. She fixed on it, fired. It disappeared, dead or ducking, no way to tell, that damned wall of metal in the way. The helmet's visor can also go opaque when required to stop bright light hurting the eyes of its wearer, say from a large explosion. The camera feed is in all directions, giving the user an almost 3D view around them. Those outside of the armor and in authority positions can use this to monitor the life signs of the people on both sides and analyze the success of the mission. The power armor has been made to still be maneuverable even in tight spaces, so the soldiers can move around in microgravity and board ships where confines would be an issue otherwise. There have been a series of upgrades to the armour over time. We'll go through a few of the major leaps here. The Mark III introduced lights set into the chest armour, kept for later marks. As Bobby does a weapons check on the Mark V, her arm-mounted Gatling gun read a full mag, 2,000 rounds of mixed armour-piercing and high explosive. A single-use rocket launcher was hooked to a hard point on her back and slaved to her suit's targeting laser, powered armour at full charge. Grenades can also be stored on the armour when not used. Each set of armour is encoded to the wearer's DNA, so only the assigned Marine can use them. Here is a book example of a weapon being used. Bobby painted the bunker with her targeting laser and launched the rocket on her back, while at the same time firing her suit's thrusters toward the surface as fast as they take her. There is also Martian light armor. It offers, like its Goliath counterpart, the ability to operate in vacuum and gives armor protection. The armor provides that protection, but is articulate enough to give normal movement, as is most armor in this. In both wrists are holographic computers that can scan DNA via the fingertip, and it has the thrusters like the Goliath. When you are in 0G, you can use them there. When in vacuum, air can be supplied via a backpack, and when using the suit's thrusters, you can slow down quickly via a one-use thruster. It ejects out to give a downward thrust. The armour can also filter the wearer's blood to provide limited protection if the wearer is injured. This is done by removing extra potassium arisen from muscle damage. The armour used by Laconians is of course based on the Martian armour. It has been improved on in a few small ways. It has a slug thrower in each forearm and a grenade launcher on each shoulder. The Laconian design has a kill switch that can be used if the armour goes rogue, and when, at the Third Battle of Medina Station, the Marines breached and seized vital points, the Underground were able to use those codes to shut down and freeze those fighting in the armour, so both a potential strength and weakness. Another type they use is the Stalker armour. This was built for extended recon. With this in mind, it's lighter and faster than the usual armour, and it is covered with sensors and tracking systems instead of weapons, although the little weaponry it is given is a small caliber rapid fire Gatling gun. This is mounted on the right arm. Now friends, I turn this over to you. What do you think to the armour shown here? Are there any small details I have missed? Have you painted a target with your Martian armour and launched a missile at the target? Comment down below.